What is up, everyone? My name's Sebastian and welcome to the 3D Show. We're in an attic that's not insulated, so imagine living in Canada with a non-insulated attic and working from that attic. What's the purpose of the show? Well, it's called the 3D Show for a reason. We're talking about 3D laser scanning, 3D technology, reality capture, photogrammetry, NERF, Luna. We talk about the whole 9 yards of overall, whether we're talking about SLAM technology, terrestrial laser scanners, etc. All of that is part of the show. But I think the main central focus of the show is about the democratization of the knowledge of the point cloud and the use case behind reality capture technology. We won't get too much into the metrology side, but we're going to get a little bit more into the point cloud side and how do we bring that into your workspace. How do we bring point cloud data, the knowledge of point cloud data, into the workflow of an architect, an engineer, a construction worker, an industrial plant manager? How do we bring it into an automobile facility, right? We're talking about this whole digital factory. Well, in order to talk about that, we need to know about the data itself, what brings it, the nuances behind it. When and where do we use point cloud data? This is, by the way, the whole purpose of the show. It's part of my passion. I really like the idea of using point cloud in your workflows, and part of my hope is to talk about different industries, talk about an entire project from beginning to end, and talk about when and where we use the data. When and where do we start capturing, and when and where do we finish? Because there's no point of talking about technology if it doesn't work for you. In many ways, when we talk about technology, we get into this whole system of, oh my gosh, this is revolutionary, it's going to change the world. But if it doesn't solve any questions of downtime, reduce building materials, improve communication, and you can calculate that, by the way. And if it doesn't improve your overall workflow, the ROI isn't there. So what's the point of investing particularly expensive pieces of equipment, say an expensive instrument like a 3D laser scanner, if you don't even see the use case of it? I've been able to sit down with managers in different industries for the last almost half a decade now. I have many experiences. I've worked in oil and gas, I've worked in architecture, I worked in construction, I worked in automotive, and there was different use cases for different purposes. And people asked me so many questions. It was a pleasure and a privilege to sit down with these people, but there was always the same question, which is, how do I bring this so I can reduce costs? How do I bring this so I can sell it to my boss? How do I bring this so I can scan the whole plant? Well, hopefully in the show, throughout the different episodes, I'm going to start with high-level stuff, which is what is a point cloud? What can you get out of a point cloud? And then we're going to go more into how do you scan a terrestrial laser scanner? How do you use SLAM? How do you bring those two data sets together? And then we're going to get into the projects. Here, we're here to learn, we're here to have fun, we're here to ask questions, and we're also here to put our 2 cents. You can ask me generic questions and I'll try to answer them on the field, on site, with an actual client. Anyhow, so much to learn, so much to talk about. Don't want to nerd out too much. My name's Sebastian. Welcome to the 3D Show. Welcome to the attic. I'm in Canada, somewhere, Eastern Canada. And, well, let me know, what kind of targets do you see above? Answer in the comments below. Looking forward to the next video. And by the way, Lori, thank you very much for all this edits and cuts. Looking forward to it. Ciao, ciao, everyone.